Facebook. Let me just go share this to these groups. We get a lot of good response lately. You know, I'm loving it, appreciating it, enjoying it every moment. Last but not least. What's going on, y'all? So today I want to talk about a topic. It's basically using every brick and every stone that's thrown at you to build your empire. You know, a lot of people, they get caught up in trying to please others to the point where they don't see they're losing their own self trying to please other people. So what I'm trying to say is, don't overly indulge on observing or trying to appease or make someone else happy to the point you lose your own sanity and you lose your own happiness. But I've noticed a lot of people, they do that. You know, they say, you know, you are only as strong as your competition. So what I say is, if you believe that you're strong, every day you should be competing with yourself. So if you're competing with yourself, every day you should be inspiring yourself to be stronger and greater in whatever it is you may or may not want to do. You should be pushing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to challenge yourself. You know, stop looking for, you know, I want them to see me. I don't be caring about those things. You know, I'm going to talk straight. You know, I post, anything I post on social media is for encouragement. If you read the words in my captions, my words to me mean more than the picture. You know, because I feel like I try my best to help my people, to motivate my people, to encourage my people, because I feel like not enough of us are doing that. You know, when you know your testimony and you know your story, I'm gonna close this window. My neighbor's always doing their grass for some reason. You know, when you know your story, you know your testimony, you should always be looking at yourself every day like, damn, I made it from this. Damn, I've grown from this. You know what you experienced and what you've been through. You know, but they say for every brick and every stone that's thrown at you, use it to build an empire. And I say to myself every day, you know, I know people who I can personally say, I know for sure they've thrown stones at me. You know, I know for sure they've said foul things about me. But the funny thing is, I don't get mad. I just make them eat their words. Because when they see me face to face, the same hater that'll say something about you, when they see me face to face, they have no choice but to respect me, because the man, I walk with integrity, and I walk with principles, and I walk with consciousness. You know, it would take a strong being to knock me off of my consciousness. You know, a lot of people, they see like, you know what, yo, for some reason, James ain't receiving me, or some reason Tasha's not receiving me. It's not meant for James or Tasha to receive you. You know, that's reality. You know, you got to receive yourself, and you got to be grateful to who you become, because you know your story along your whole journey. The only person that truly knows everything about you is yourself. You know when you're lying. But some people, again, you can fool yourself. You can subconsciously fool yourself. If you keep telling yourself a lie 1,000 times, you'll start believing your own madness. And that's the problem. But when a person has thrown malice or thrown, what's the word, shade, or anything he's done or said or she said about me, all I did was use that as positive energy to keep building my empire. Mark, what up? So what you have to realize is, never get mad when people aren't as receptive of what you're trying to do as much as you think they should be. You can't make a hater support something because they can't see it in themselves. So why would somebody that's not happy with their own life or their own journey be happy at your life and your journey? It's impossible for them to be receptive of you when they're not even receptive of their own visions and their own self. So when you can wake up every day and not consciously make decisions to make yourself better or make decisions to make your life better, then subconsciously you have to understand that person could never want to see greatness in you. So that person will see, like again I said, if that person see you walk on water, that person is such a hater, they'll say it's because you can't swim. So again, you'll walk on water, so that person will say you only walking on water because you can't swim. That's how much of a hater some people are. And that's subconscious. That's them trying to make themselves feel better about themselves. There's something called defense mechanisms. And a lot of people don't understand defense mechanisms. For instance, you know, I agree. If you want something, like if you want a career, you know you have to get certain credentials for the career. So at the end of the day, you go to college, you get your credentials, you become a nurse, which is cool. I don't like a person that didn't go to college and they always say, oh, just because you go to college don't mean you're going to get a job. See, that's to me, that's the hater. You know, I don't say if you doing, see my theory of life is if you go to school to do what you love, then there'll be more people happy to do their jobs. So what I'm saying is when you go to a teacher and the teacher's only doing it for economical resources, meaning funds, finances, or a cop is only doing it because of the fact that he wants power. This is why we have problems. But when a person do what they genuinely love, there's never an issue. They say you're never at work when you do what you love. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. I get that all the time. But when you look at people, and I say to them all the time, like, look, when you say to yourself, I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this because I love it. I love it. That's a person that will always be happy. That's the nurse when you go into the hospital. That nurse is always trying to do her best. That's the cop that subconsciously says to itself, like, yo, I have to treat people the way I want to be treated. Those are the people that's in those positions because of the fact that they love what they do. But when you don't love what you do, you're the person that go to your job every day miserable. You know, if I tell everybody, if you really went to a job and you told the job that, yo, 3 months from now, I'm gonna act like an asshole, I truly doubt you'll be hired. But I think most people go to jobs and they put their best foot forward. They'll say, yo, I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna always be on time, and that's how they talk. But if you really showed who you were in your job interview, most people would never be hired for the positions and the jobs they want. You know what I'm saying? So when you see yourself in a position, you should say to yourself, I'm gonna do everything. See, subconsciously, you have to say, every job that I have in life, I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability, so that way that becomes naturally your personality. You know what I'm saying? If you know every day you wake up and you give your all, that will naturally just become who you are. But if you slack in anything you do, it'll become who you are also. So you have to always say, you know what? Today I'm working at McDonald's, but guess what? I'm gonna be one of the best McDonald's employees until I get to my next position. And then until I get to my next position. Until I get to my next position. Subconsciously, those are the people that go on further and do so much more with life because of the fact that they built something called work ethic. See, when you're doing those low-end jobs, it's not only about the funds. It's teaching you work ethic. And you committing yourself to basically discipline yourself to think and behave a certain way at a smaller position. So when you get the bigger position, you're prepared for it because of the fact that you've always was on time. You was always consistent. You always worked hard. You always did what you had to do. So now, subconsciously, you start saying to yourself, like, wow, it's naturally who I am now. A lazy person has always been lazy, so they will always be lazy. How do you expect a person not to be lazy when they've been lazy their whole life? No one has rectified their issues. That person has problems. So that problem now is becoming personal character. And this is the thing. Everything you do, and even with parents, I say that kids are weak. I say the parents are weak also because of the fact that they're not conscious enough to say, you know what? The disciplines my parents taught me is the reasoning why I became somebody with my life. So now we make it so easy for the kids that they tend to not do well, or they do the bare minimum. You can't expect a person to want the moon and the stars when you've never gave him a reason to want the moon and the stars. His consciousness or her consciousness is the fact that, you know what, as long as I can put food on my table. And they have a minimal effort through life. They've always done minimal. So now that's just naturally their character. So it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. And a lot of people have to understand that. It starts with changing a person from like early, so that way that'll naturally become their character. You can rectify things when they're young. And certain things also in yourself you can rectify. It says it takes 21 to 31 days to create a habit. You know, and a lot of people, they put a lot of energy into their bad habits. They put a lot of energy every day into their bad habits. I'll give you one bad habit. And if you're on my feed, please write something that you think is bad habits that people have. The number one bad habit I think a lot of people have is second guessing themselves. They second guess themselves so much to the point they never achieve anything because they're too conscious. They say every day, I can't. You put a wall in front of yourself or a barricade in front of yourself of your dreams and your aspirations, because you know it's going to be complications. But it's supposed to be complications. You're supposed to have, because if you received everything you ever wanted in life too easy, how would you appreciate anything? You understand? How would you appreciate anything if everything came to you so easy? So realistically, you want hard. You want it to be complicated, because if it wasn't complicated, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. So now what happens is the fact that you're willing to get up every day and grind, and you're willing to change your position, and you're willing to do what you got to do, 9 out of 10 times, you're going to outwork everybody else because of the fact that they're doing the minimal. So when they do the minimal, you have to say, you know what, I'm not going to do the minimal because I'm going to get minimal results. Again, it's like taking a test. You're taking a test, and every day, the person that you copied, word for word, got a 65 on their test. They got a 65 on their test. So what you do is you go in that same classroom, you copy that person's test, answer for answer, and you expect better results. That's what people do in life. They copy people that fail every single day in life, and they do the same thing that they did, and then they expect better results. That's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing every day but expecting different results. That is a foolish nature. And I tell people, in order for you to change certain things that you want to change about yourself, you have to create better habits. Habits is everything. Knowing that and being conscious to your decision making. You say to yourself, you know what? I want to lose weight. How the hell do you want to lose weight when you're the person in the damn you eat in the same way or even worse than you used to eat? How are you going to change your weight? How are you the person that stays in the bed and don't go to the gym but expect to change their weight? That's impossible. See, that's called that's psychotic. You have to realize, in order for me to change certain things, I have to change certain things about myself. Being conscious and having those conversations with yourself can determine a new outlook on your life. You can change everything. The way you was brought up today, you can overachieve past your parents. You can overachieve past anybody that's personally in your life. You have to just be conscious and understand that every day is a right decision on a path that I want to see myself. When you start looking at a path and you say, you know what? Today starts the day that I want to start becoming a better me. I want to become a better me. And then when a person don't think like that, you can't say to yourself, I'm going to hang out with this person, because they're going to basically knock you off your horse. Again, I tell people the negative words that people used against me and said about me, I use that as basically as fuel. I use it as fuel to say to them, you can say whatever you want, but at the end of the day, I know who I am and I know everything about myself. So words never hurt me, especially at this age. I am too old to worry about a loser's words. See, the sad part is you worry about how people look at you, but in reality, the people that's talking bad about you are the people that ain't got nothing going for themselves. So realistically, who's the fool? You worried about people that don't have anything going for themselves, and they talk bad about you, and you get mad at them for talking bad about you. How do you expect them to even feel any way not about you, because of the fact that they don't even feel good about themselves? Because if they felt good about themselves, they wouldn't even be going through what they're going through, and they wouldn't be putting themselves in those positions. Don't you know that a person that usually talks bad about you is a person that's looking for something to make themselves feel better about themselves? Usually the person that hates on you is a person that may want to be with you. They may want to be you. They see things in you that they don't see in themselves. And they envy you, and they jealous of you, and they're insecure and inferior to the fact that you are a certain way. You understand? When you know who you are, you ain't got to worry about proving nothing to the world. You ain't got to worry about helping nobody. Making somebody, if they don't believe me, I'm going to show them. I don't do that. Again, I go on live. I use this as a platform to help out my people, because of the fact that I feel like we're in a deficit. We are a lot behind financially. We're a lot behind psychologically. We're a lot behind maturity. We're a lot behind in a lot of situations, and the reason being is because of the fact that a lot of our conversations aren't the conversations that basically says the level of maturity that person is. You say, oh, I want this and I want that, but in reality, your actions don't say that. You can't say you want certain things from life, and you saying it with your mouth verbally, but you're not saying it with your efforts. To me, that is a foolish nature. And you have to understand the things that you truly want from life. You have to be conscious enough to say, you know what? I'm going to start working on me. I'm going to start doing better things to make my life better. I'm going to start making better decisions. I'm going to start getting around better people. I'm going to get around people that actually believe in me to the more than I believe in myself. Don't you know subconsciously if you're around people that believe in you more than you believe in yourself, you'll aspire yourself to be so much greater? Because it'll be crazy when you say to yourself, like I'm going to use somebody on here right now. Let's just say Keenan. Keenan say, yo, I can't do it. Right? And he's around Q and Q like, you could do it, you bugging. What are you talking about you can't do it? Keenan might look at himself in that mirror that night and be like, damn, Q believe in me. So why stop believing in myself? Now Keenan is around Q and he's around a guy named Mike. Mike also believes in him. So Keenan subconsciously says to himself like, damn, these guys truly believe in me. Why I don't believe in myself? You know, you have to be around people that make you greater. You know, again, those words that people call you and them names. You know, y'all can write some names on this timeline. What are the names that people have called you that you know for a fact aren't true? You know, but you use those same words and those same terms that they throw at you. You use that as motivation to build your empire. You know, I've heard a lot of things about my name and my character. At the same time, when them same suckers see me, they, yo, what up, my guy? What up, my guy? That goes to show you how much of a sucker you are. And when you look at them and say to them, I've heard the words you said about me, but I'm such a man that you can't look me in my spirit and my soul and say the words to my face. So that makes you a sucker. It don't make me a sucker, it makes you a sucker. Because in reality, a man or a woman stands to their words. If you say that somebody's a bum and you want to hang around them, that says that you're a clown. Hey, what's up, Tiff? You know what I'm saying? This is the consciousness we have to understand. When you start saying, I appreciate that too. When you start saying to yourself, I'm not going to entertain your words no more. I'm not going to entertain you, because what you give energy becomes a part of you. So if you keep giving something energy, it becomes a part of you. I'm not the guy that got to run around and prove every rumor wrong. And I'm not doing all of that. You know what I'm going to prove? I'm going to prove to my family I'm a king. I'm going to prove to my kids that I'm a father. And I'm going to prove to the world that I am greater than I ever could have been, that they could have ever seen me. For those who know who I am, they subconsciously already know I'm on my way. But for those who don't know me or think they know me or been around me and they think that they know who I used to be. See, knowing somebody for who, I'm going to give you a quick scenario. You have day one friends and you have day two friends. Sometimes you got to get away from day one friends, because day one friends only still see you as day one. Now you become who you are on day two. That person only still sees you as that person who you used to be. So now you're trying to change. How can you change around this person when they keep trying to force you to be who you used to be? See, sometimes day two friends are better than day one friends, because the day two person is the person that know you who you are now. It's who you become. And all of those day one times and all those things you've been through, it was to make you who you are day two. So now you are the person in day two. They still looking at you as day one. Sometimes they don't even know how to talk to you because of the fact that everything they say is so negative. And you like, yo, I don't want to talk about that no more. I don't want to talk about like that no more. Yeah, I don't want to. And when you start saying those things, those purposes start feeling funny. Oh, this guy, yo, you think he better than everybody? No, you don't. It ain't that he think or she thinks she's better than everybody. You think they are. It's what you build up in your mind subconsciously about that person. Ask yourself, the people you talk about, when was the last time you sat down and actually had a genuine conversation with that person? When was the last time you and that person built about something and had a genuine conversation? And you can't say it because of the fact that you and that person don't have no correspondence. But yet and still you build up an interpretation of who you believe this person to be. That's kind of foolish. You know, what I'm trying to say is, a prophet is never loved in their own village. We kill our prophets. We kill and all a prophet is a messenger. You know, people you say you a prophet. They take, oh, prophet. A prophet is a messenger. Someone who comes to deliver a message. Someone who comes to enlighten their people. Someone who comes to make their people greater. These are the people we need to be promoting. These are the people we need to be encouraging. I don't want to see no girl on my lawn twerking. I don't care. I don't care. What is the skill to that? You know what I want to see? I want to see a person that can go into a room of our area where these kids are pretty much bred for failure. Yo, they're bred. And this is crazy. If you don't understand this, they're bred. Do you know they do studies on children at a very young age? They said at 5th grade, they can tell how many prisons to build based on the intellect of the children and minority communities. Do you know that they do these things? And you're not subconsciously seeing that? I seen a study one day, man. The little girl didn't want the black doll. A little black girl didn't want the black doll. And they said, what doll do you want? She picked up the white doll and said, because the white doll is prettier. You know, Somebody's failing that poor child. Society is failing that poor child. Someone is not letting that girl feel like she is beautiful, and your dark skin is beautiful. You're beautiful, little sister. And I wish that girl was my daughter, because I would show her that you are a queen and you're beautiful. You're beautiful. God creates all his creations in the likeness of himself. So how could anyone be ugly? How? When you say someone is ugly, that only means that you're not attracted to that person. So that's okay, but somebody may be attracted to that person. See, if you overly indulge on the outside looks, you'll never get to learn that person's interior. See, the exterior may look beautiful, but under that hood of that car, that engine might be a piece of crap. See, sometimes the exterior always looks better than the interior, and people overly indulge on the exterior. Oh, she got the big butt. Oh, she cute. But you got to learn to look what's inside of that person. Those are the people that truly matter, because when you learn that a person stands for something, they have principles, they have integrity, they have morals, they have self-respect. These are the people that we should be pushing and promoting and putting them on platforms to help elevate our people's minds. We're so far behind that we trying to play catch up in a room in a world that is unfair to us. It's unfair. And I'm going to be honest with you. There are rules set for us to fail. You know, I'll give you a quick scenario. I was talking to my guy the other day. Me and this boy was talking, and I said, how come, and I want y'all to answer this with me, guys, how come anytime you have a predominantly black area, it always have to get a nickname? Why does it have to have a nickname? See, when you say areas like Garden City is still considered Garden City. It has no nickname. When you say places like Port Washington, it's called Port Washington. When you say places like Glen Cove, it's called Glen Cove. You know, but when it comes predominantly black, why it has to become the Stead, the Velt, the Dale? You know, because you have to learn to appreciate your area to the point where you creating the equity to go up this way. See, the thing is, a lot of us, by throwing the wrapper on the floor and ignoring the dirt and the filth, you only depriving your community of the resources or the equity that it could be building. See, now you're hurting your own situation. So sometimes we cry about wounds, but the worst wound in life, and when I say wound, is W-O-U-N-D, a wound, a hurt, a pain. The worst wound in life is a self-inflicted wound, because it could be avoided. And most people, they do a lot of self-inflicted wounds to themselves, and then they get mad at oh my God, I can't believe, why are you mad that you failed or you got fired from a job when you know you kept coming in late every day? Like, we got to get real. Black people, let's stop quitting jobs knowing the fact that we don't have another job. Let's stop doing that. Let's say, you know what? I'm going to work this job. I'm going to put my resume in other places until I find another job. Then I'm going to move on. Let's move on respectively and learn how to become humans and learn how to compete with society. See, it's not about talking talking white or black. It's about talking proper. And people, he talks or she talks white. Let's change that narrative. That is not true. It's talking educated and it's talking uneducated. So that could be white, black, blue, green, Indian. It could be anything. So let's change the narrative of certain things we say. So let's just talk another one. Because white people want to see us fail. No. Don't you know there are a lot of black people that don't want to see you guys enhance your life? They don't want to see you elevate. They want to see you at the bottom, because they get inferior to another black person that's doing well. They get uncomfortable. They get uncomfortable because of the fact that they don't want to see another black person succeed. So in reality, we all thinking it's the white man and it's this man and it's that man, but it's not only that man, it's our own people. So you have to understand, the people you promote and the people you give power to and the people you share their stuff and you promote them, these are the people you need to understand that they're doing the things that are hurting our communities even more, because all they do is milk us for our resources, act like they like us, get to the top and say to hell with y'all. That's what they do. So we're not putting our people in positions that can help change the whole narrative of everything. We don't help that. And then we get mad. And I say, you can't get mad when you know somebody's a certain way. I'm not mad at Donald Trump. I'm not. Because I'm pretty sure everybody in here has seen the Central Park 5. You saw what he said about them young black men. You saw what he said. I'm not surprised that man is racist. I'm not surprised that he's very strong opinionated. He was strongly opinionated when the newspaper was like damn near, like, come on, this is in the 80s, 90s? I think it's the 90s. 80s and 90s. So you got to understand, like, he's been like that. So you don't understand, like me, I'm the kind of person, I don't get mad at somebody for being the way they are. I get mad at a person for being inconsistent with who they are. See, if I know who you are, I know how to handle you. And I know what box to put you in. You know what I'm saying? When I don't know who you are because of the fact that you're too wishy-washy, that's when I'm skeptical about you because of the fact that I don't know who you're going to be today. You're a chameleon. See, a person that's a chameleon, that's a very dangerous person. Very, very, very dangerous. You have to be conscious to know who you around, because a lot of the times, don't you know the energy that you around, it comes onto your life? OD, like, I'm just being honest. Because me and you could be at a party and I could have stole something from James. So now look at what's going on, because me and you together, look at what's happening to me. I am a reflection of who I entertain and who I can carry myself around. I'm a reflection. So you are a reflection of what you around. You have to understand that. You have to be conscious to know that I'm not better than you, but I think a lot greater than you, to the point where I don't want to be like that no more. You transfer energy, and that's just reality. And people don't understand that. And they have to understand that the universe answers the cries of the strong and the weak, depending on the scenario. See, a lot of the times you say, God, like, why am I going through this? And why my life is like this? And see, I look at it like this, where I go get my shield and I go get my armor and I go get my sword and I say, let's get it. Why? Because I know at the end of this tunnel, I know the light is going to be so bright. So I'm ready for the war, and I'm ready for the controversy, and I'm ready for the headaches, and I'm ready for the adversity. I'm ready for it all, because in reality, I know it's to make me stronger for the next thing God may have in store for me. And that's what a lot of people need to understand. So you get mad at, oh, my life is this way, and my life is, man, you better learn how to tighten up and say it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I poke my chest out and say, come on, world, what you got for me? Because I know when I beat this test, I know for a fact my next grade is going to be so much greater, because I'm going to upgrade and my life is going to get way better than what it was. And that's what you guys got to understand. Subconsciously, stop crying about the headaches and my man ain't supporting me. Yo, oh my God, I did with a lot of musicians at one point. You know, I had an entertainment label, and I've dealt with a lot of guys. And man, I'm talking about celebrities, and everyone always cried at me like, and now I'm dealing with a lot of people, black-owned businesses, and I personally say, I want to tell the truth. When you say that you are a black-owned business, right? You have to subconsciously understand that you are competing with a competitor that has an edge. For instance, not only do the Caucasian businesses have an edge, they have an edge because black people are more conscious to support them, and they're less active or they're argumentative with them. For instance, let's go like this. I walk into a restaurant that happens to be Caucasian owned. They tell me 30 minutes, you'll have your table. They come back in an hour. They give me my table. I might have raised the fit, got mad, but I kept it in myself, sat down, ate, and left. It might have went back. But let it be a black-owned business. Let that same scenario happen. Now you, and they this, and they that, and they this, and they that. And I'm like, damn, you grade the counterparts a lot easier than you grade our people. And our person that has that quote-unquote black-owned business, it might have took them forever, their soul, their body, their hands, their feet, just to get that business. You don't know what they did to get that business. And I'm like, yeah, they might not have the same amount of bread. Why? Because they don't have the funding to maintain as the counterparts, our counterparts may have. They might not have a pension family or a retirement for they struggle and they work their behind off, and they're behind. And again, we don't support them. So you can't get mad when somebody's saying, yo, this business, yo, they don't got no more. But they okay, let's just do a Jamaican store. A lot of the stores, they say, they walk into these stores and they be like, they never have certain things. They don't have it because every dollar is accounted for the fact that that store may not be as established as our counterparts. And by understanding that, you will know, like, I have to be a little bit less like hard on my people. I feel like blacks we're very hard on our own. We're very, 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 very hard. And we judge extreme. You know, it's extreme and it's disgusting because in my mind, I say all business is business, and I feel like you should hold your business to the highest standards of your capability and your capacity and your ability of doing it. I think you should say, I'm a business owner, and knowing as a business owner, I have to be conscious of my customers. I have to be respectful of the people that support my business. I have to become a pillar of my community. I have to do a lot of things to change the narrative. You know, like me, and I love to say this, and my theory of life is every stone and every brick that's thrown at me, I use it to build my empire. You know, I've been told plenty of times that I was going to fail in business, and I exceeded expectations, you know, and I told myself I was going to be in a certain position at a certain time, but God had more in store for me. He told me, you're going to be way ahead of that. And then he said, I'm going to give you a platform where you can start helping other people. And I've used that platform to help others, you know, and I choose consciously, and I love to see my people progress. And the reason when I say my people, I'm talking about people who may have or may have not been given a silver spoon. See, when you say that, like when I hear people say, because you know white people are rich, I've traveled the world and there are very, very, very unwealthy white people, very unwealthy white people who are struggling just like everybody else, who are living paycheck to paycheck, who are on the cusp of failing because of the fact that they was dealt a bad hand also. So when we say these narratives, I'm like, you can't push that as the standard because it is not the country's standard. There are a lot of white people who don't have money like that, who are on welfare, who have Section 8, who it's just reality. So when I hear people say that, I'm like, there are a lot of wealthy people, but that don't mean they're all Caucasian. What about the Indians? What about the Asians? What about the Italian? What about there's different ethnic groups that are doing very well in this economy? What about the Hispanics? I watched them single-handedly change their whole life. You know, I watched it with my own two eyes. I watched, and I love to talk about them because I feel like I've seen firsthand with the power of teamwork and unity what you can do. You know, but again, you use every brick, every stone, everything people talk bad about you, use it as motivation. Stop getting mad at your friends for not supporting you, man. Stop, I'm gonna start this business. I got at least 3,000 followers on Instagram, so at the end of the day, at least 2,000 gonna buy something. That's not true. You'll be surprised at how much a stranger will support you 10 times faster than someone you know. You'll be surprised. And this is me speaking from my experiences. You'll be surprised that the same conversations I could have with someone I've known for 40 years, I'm not 40, but for 30 years, I can have a conversation with them and they'll ignore what I'm saying. And then I'll meet a stranger today. They'll pray like, yo, Q, I need to hear this more. Yo, thank you. And you know, but again, it's the fact of appreciation. You can't expect people to want or to support. You can't expect it, man. I appreciate it, bro. You can't expect it. And anybody that knows me and that has regular conversations with me, all come in my presence every month or every time, but once in a while, they'll tell you, like, I'm a very conscious man to the point where I understand who I am. I love the man I'm becoming, you know, and I love seeing my people grow, you know. And I told myself I'm no longer going to be the reasoning for us failing. I'm going to be the reason that's helping our people win, you know. And I tell people all the time, stop crying about your people failing and become the reason why we winning. And listen, I say winning is being self-sufficient. Winning is not relying on society. Winning is pushing yourself to be a greater you. See, stop setting the standard so high that is unreachable. You know, and again, when you look at yourself every day and you love who you becoming or who you are becoming, you can look at another person and say, I love who I am. And I love the person I'm becoming. And I know my journey. And I know my story. You came in on a chapter, and please don't judge me on the chapter you walked in on my life. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know what she's been through. You don't know what he's been through. But yet and still you try to judge that person. And that says volumes about your character. You know, I'm going to give you the scenario. Me and this girl was talking yesterday. And she said to me, you know, she DM'd me. She asked me, could she get some advice? So I gave her my contact. We started talking. And she started basically explaining to me that it's hard to change when you're looked at to be a certain way. I'm going to be honest with you. And this is me just telling the truth. I'm an alpha male. You know, I believe you need a queen to win, but I'm very strong as a man. You know, I stand strong. I'm firm in my beliefs and my understanding and my respect for the world. And I'm never going to let a man chump me or punk me. I'm going to just tell the truth. You know, I'm going to just say what it is. You know, but at the same time, she said to me, and I asked her, what do you mean by the way the world sees you? She was like, you know, in her heyday, she was a little wild and reckless. And so I asked her a question. I said, how do your children see you? She said, my children, they adore me. I said, wow. I said, how do your mother see you? She said, oh, my mom respects me now. She respects who I am today. And I said, wow. I said, so what does their opinion matter? She looked at me like, I said, you want acceptance from people who haven't even accepted themselves. Why are you looking for acceptance from people who haven't accepted themselves? That's reality. You cannot be mad at a person for hating you when they hate who they see when they look in the mirror. See, when you look in the mirror and you love who you see and you love who you becoming, all you want to do is see everybody else feel the same way. You know, you want the world to be happy. You want everybody glowing. You want everybody taking care of their children. You want everybody, you know, helping their moms get a better life. And you want people helping their dads. And this is normal. You know, you have to make certain things psychologically become the norm. For instance, I think we need to read more. I think we need to subconsciously start reading more books. You know, there's a few books I could recommend. Anybody want to know? I'll tell you what I recommend personally. It's up to you guys if you want to know. Our first book I say is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I think that's an amazing book. Think and Grow Rich. I think Rich Dad Poor Dad is an amazing book, of course. That's a all-time favorite. I think The 50 Laws of Power is really good. You know, and I read a lot. And I read just also to help elevate my intellect. You know, I feel like certain words that people are using at this age, they sound like they read Cat in the Hat books. It's me, he, they, ooh, we, she, D, B. I'm like, yo, bro, you got to step your intellect up a little bit. You got to read a little bit more. I think after you did 12th grade, you stopped. You stopped challenging yourself for further growth. And this is why your conversations are still minuscule. They're still at a certain level of age because of the fact that you're not talking about those things. You know, when people sit down and say, oh, he's this and she's that, I'm like, yo, use them bricks, man. Stop getting mad. Use them bricks. Take them bricks and start building your foundation. The reality is every day you wake up, right? You wake up every single day. You wake up every morning. You take a brick and you place it in front of you every single day. You keep placing a brick every single day. Eventually you will have a wall. And that's the reality of life, is because you laying your foundation. You planting your feet firm. And you starting to set the standard and the tone of what you want to see in your life. You know, you can't say, oh, I want to be of a certain status or a certain level, but the people you're around, they don't want those same things because they're not going to push you to be the greater you. You know, and that's the sad part. You know, with obtaining success, you have to be willing to walk away from people you love, from people you call family, from people you just care for. Because if certain people don't want certain things for themselves, you can't be mad at the fact that they don't want those things for themselves. I feel like it is not on us to take on the world's problems, but it's on us to help those who want that seed. So when you take that seed and you plant that seed in your mind, you have to nurture that seed so that way the new you can continue to keep growing. So how are you going to grow when you're around people who aren't nurturing your growth, who aren't talking about the things that really matter to you? You know, you come around them, they start, yo, guess what? Yo, Tasha's sleeping with James. And you know what? James go out with Tasha's best friend. And they love that because it makes them feel better about their corny lives. And I'm like, if you use that same energy and revert it or change it into caring about your own life, your life would be so much greater. But the fact of the matter is we spend too much time talking about those things that don't matter. Again, a person can say whatever they want about me. I know who I am. I love who I am. I'm God's child. And again, words behind my back are only words. And again, bricks that I use to build my empire. So every time the person see me, I'm going to just keep killing them with success because I know who I am. And when you're conscious to who you are and I know what I'm capable of doing, when you're conscious to those things, nothing else matters. Love yourself, love your neighbors, love everybody else, help encourage people. You know what I'm saying? I love the person I'm becoming. And I want you guys to take this journey with me, because I'm going to take this journey with you guys. Anybody ever ask any questions, they can hit my DM. I always respond. Anybody say I don't respond, I call them a liar. I always respond, unless they say something crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I always respond, and I always try to get back to Eric, what up, baby? Always get back to my people, because I'm going to be honest with you. We are each other, you know. And when we start learning the value of each other, you can start seeing how much more things become so grand with our positioning and understanding the leveraging of each other. You know, when we start seeing the value of your brother and your sister. You know, I told people I don't see my sisters as B's no more, and I don't see my brothers as N's no more. I don't see them like that no more. I see my sisters and I see my brothers, and I see some who may not intellectually been taught to think a certain way. So psychologically, they're a little behind. So you can't get mad at the fact that that person subconsciously isn't at a certain level in their mind, or they can't see themselves any better. You can't get mad at those people. You have to pray for them. You have to try to encourage them, because some people just need a little push. You know, you'd be surprised with a push what it could do to a person. You know, what up, cuz? You know, you can't get mad at the fact that they mama failed, their grandmother failed, their dad failed, and now they think they're a failure too. You can't get mad at that person for thinking like that. And now, when every time I tell people, when you lay in your bed and you sleep, you start seeing yourself in a certain light. You start seeing certain things you feel like you should have. It's because God's basically telling you you are supposed to have those things, but it's on you to bring those things out. And you know, you have to be around people that's actually helping push the journey, opposed to people that's taking away from the journey. And this is the problem with a lot of us. We hang out with people who aren't doing this. They're just doing this. They taking away from it. So, you know, taking away your energy. See, that's a big thing y'all need to understand. Time is something that you can never get back. They say you could buy a clock, but you can't buy time. You know, you could buy a bed, but you can't buy sleep. You know, there's certain things you'll never be able to purchase, no matter how rich and how wealthy you are. And those things you have to be conscious to understand. You know, when you love who you are, never mind who I am, never mind who the world, learn to fall in love with you. Because again, you haven't even reached your true potential yet. And that's the one thing you need to understand. Once you reach your potential and you start seeing certain good things in yourself, you know, like a kid that play basketball, they may have dunked with one hand. They be like, oh my God, I dunked it with one hand. Next thing you know, now you're trying to dunk with two hands, because of the fact that you're seeing that you're capable of doing things you never even thought in yourself. And you have to be around people, and sometimes you may need an alley-oop, you know, because of the fact that you need a team. You know, understand, learn to build a team. You know, your friends are supposed to be your biggest critics, but your biggest supports. You know, if they're not supporting you the way they're supposed to, it's time to move on for them. Now, we got some questions now. It starts all within. I totally agree with that, Shell. Shell's my big bro. Sheldon, I appreciate you. You know, I love you like cook food. This guy has watched my journey, and he's encouraged me along my way, man. I appreciate you more than you could ever imagine, ever think. Every time you come around me, you see how much love I give you. We've had great conversations about a lot of different things, you know, and it actually woke me up to start understanding, you know, start being an example, Q. You know, start being an example. Start helping your people. Start encouraging them. Start motivating them. See, like I tell people all the time, it's not about the money. It's not about the money. Because I can give a person right now $1 million. But if they haven't changed their mental, they're going to lose that $1 million. See, that's the problem that people don't understand. If you're not subconscious, or you don't think or understand, you're going to lose the money. You're going to keep going backwards, because you're not thinking and you're not using the energy. You know what I'm saying? You already know, big bro. You know, I appreciate everybody for always tuning in and showing me love. Yo, my DM be on fire. Yo, people be like, yo, Q, you're amazing. Keep doing it. And I told myself, every time I get a free second, I'm definitely going to do it. You know, I'm definitely going to jump on live, and I'm going to encourage more people and push them and motivate, you know. I tell people my story, man. People don't even believe it, man. You know, I've worked myself to a space where I'm very proud. You know, I'm very, very proud. You know, I remember one day my mom got so mad at me. She said to me, damn, I wish I would have aborted you. And that's because she was upset. You know, did she mean it? Nah, hell no. My mother loved me. But she was so mad that she looked at me and said, I wish I would have aborted you. And now my mom looked at me and said, damn, boy, I am so proud of you. And I tell myself every day, like, I look at her and smile when she say that, and she be like, you getting cocky? I be like, no, I'm just getting started. You know, I'm like, yeah, mom, it ain't over yet. I got a lot more energy and I got a lot more to get done. You know, but by the time I'm done, I want her to be like, yo, that's my boy. And he did everything that he said he was gonna do, and he accomplished it, he achieved it, and he's doing so much more. And not only is he doing it, he's putting people in position to do it, whether subconsciously or physically, you know. And this is the platform I'm gonna use to make sure I help my people grow. You know what I'm saying? Anybody have any questions, we could talk. Let's talk for a little while. Talk to me, ask me some questions, let's talk about something, you know. But it all starts within the mind, though. You just always understand that it all starts within the mind. Everything you envision, it all starts here. You know, I want to go back to this line. There's a guy by the name of Les Brown. He says, making $1 million is easy, but believing that you can make $1 million, that's hard. So basically changing your mind to think you could do it is the hardest part. And that's what people don't understand. Because if some people really see themselves of a certain tier, this is why they only reach a certain level. Because they think it's a cheat code or somebody's blessed more than them. Everybody's blessed. Every day you wake up, you're blessed. It's what you do with your 24 hours determines your outcome of life. You know, if you learn how to deal with people and how to talk to people, it will open up new doors. They say old ways don't open up new doors. So now you've done it a certain way for so long, it's time to change and starting to revert back to doing certain things, different things, different ways. And yes, we definitely do got to link up, bro. You know my number. Get off, I hate missing your lives. So I think you could put where it actually tings, I'll let you know that I'm going on. But you could always go back and look at these videos. I post them up on YouTube for those who don't know. Q's Corner, QS Corner. You know, you can get it on YouTube. I post these, you know, and I love the birthday love these everybody gave me, man. It was amazing. My DM was disgusting. I didn't realize so much love, so much love, so much love. And they say black people are haters. I disagree. You know, it's Q's Corner on YouTube. You know, for those who want my Instagram is QDaBoss516, QDABoss516. You know, keep supporting me. I appreciate you guys. And if you need any information, any knowledge, anything, DM me. We're going to talk. We'll build about it. And if you got any knowledge for me, please believe me. I want to know. Hit me. Talk to me. I appreciate all you guys. Love is love. Q's Corner. I'm out. You guys have a good night. God bless y'all and stay safe and wash your hands.